What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve, and thank you for joining us first and foremost. If this is your first time, please consider hitting the like and subscribe and sticking around as we are on the journey to 1,000 subscribers. And I am super excited to have you for this very special shoe we are talking about. Now, I say every shoe is very special, so, that's just me. But now is the time of year, despite our whole, sheltering quarantine thing. Now is the time of year where we start thinking about summer sneakers. What's coming out, what you can rock. Every year around the springtime, I want to be ready. I want to have something fresh, ready to go, waiting in the wings to bust out. So I tend to gravitate towards those lifestyle/running shoes. Yeezys have been popular for the last few summers. There's those lower cut, lightweight, easy to put on, comfortable all day type of shoes. And that brings us to today's selection for the review, the Nike React Vision in the Desert Oasis colorway. Let's take a closer look. Alright guys, now that you're more familiar with the sneaker, there is some cool backstory to this shoe. This is part of one of Nike's newest lines. They launched 3 different kind of interior brands. One is called DMSX, or it's D/MS/X. Maybe you could call it DIM6. I don't know. You let me know in the comments below if you know for certain if they're calling it DIM6 or DMSX or whatever the case is. You let me know. But essentially, this is supposed to be, or is going to be, one of the most daring and adventurous branches of Nike's design and material use, functionality, things like that. They are going to incorporate more niche type of sports into their shoes, things like motocross. You think of the sports that aren't necessarily mainstream. They're going to incorporate elements and functionality into their silhouettes and models. They're going to be creating new models as well as reworking and exaggerating the proportions of older models. And as you can see with this sneaker right here, it is more or less straightforward, but there are some very interesting layering techniques. There is a pretty chunky heel counter going on back here with this hard molded plastic. And overall, I really dig the aesthetics of the shoe as is. There have been some colorways of this that have dropped before this Desert Oasis one, and there are some more to come. But in my opinion, this is the best looking colorway that's dropped so far. If you're more into the subdued type of colorways, nothing quite as overt as this one. There is a gray and black colorway coming out that's very clean. But for my money, I really like the way this shoe stands out. And it stands out in a way that's not just like flashy to be flashy. It stands out in a way that makes you want to take a deeper look at it. Now, starting with the upper, what you have here is kind of a perforated upper, but the perforation holes, which are usually circular, are elongated. They're like really long, very tight ovals, and you can actually see a woven type of inner sock underneath. That is the layer underneath. Now, it's not quite a traditional inner sock, but you can see a layer underneath this upper here. And then that brings me to one of my favorite parts, and that is the lace area. And there are these felt pieces that are done in blue and red, and there's actually like a maroon type of underlay here as well that kind of looks pebbled like a leather, but it's definitely synthetic. You can see there's a faint pattern on there, and the stitching and everything looks really nice on there too. This blue portion as well has that blue as well, and the felt pieces kind of highlight the different eyelets along the lace area. The lace areas are a nice rope lace, which I appreciate too. And then the tongue is actually pretty well padded. Usually with these lighter weight sneakers, you don't get that much padding at all, but there's actually a pretty fair amount of padding on this shoe. Don't really know what you would need it for, as this is pretty much a casual lifestyle type of shoe, but it does feel nice. It's kind of nice to push in. And at the top of the tongue, you have this DIM6 logo on the pull tab here. A matching one is also here at the back of the heel collar. More of that blue, that padded, same type of padded material that's on the tongue. And then let's talk about this heel counter. It's a hard molded plastic. It actually might be rubber now that it flexes, and you can definitely move it. So this appears to be some type of a rubber, maybe a plastic. It's a little pliable, but it's definitely not meant to be moved. And other than some support for your heel, as this is the heel counter area, I'm not certain what this shelf really serves functionality wise. I think this is part of this DIM6 brand's mission statement, which is to kind of play with proportions and silhouettes. So, and you know, it's kind of Sacai-esque, you know, some of those Nike Sacai sneakers we've seen dropping recently, but it's not quite copying that. It definitely has its own style. This doesn't do that layer for layer type thing that the Sacais are doing. And then moving on to the midsole, you have this very chunky, substantial React foam midsole, and it's comfortable. There's not much else to say about that. I actually like the way the responsiveness with the React is as opposed to something like the Ultra Boost, because it's not quite as squishy. It actually has a little bit of energy return. Now, I know, scientists will tell you that energy return is not a real thing, but I would say this foam pushes back a little bit more than the Ultra Boost does, which is why I prefer actually the NMDs to the Ultra Boost, but that's a whole other thing. And then to make the sole a little bit more substantial, they've added, you'll see here, some light blue areas, and this is actually not React foam like the rest of this midsole and outsole. These are rubber pieces that are inlaid and glued down here, and you can actually see some of the glue marks around the shoe. So when you get your pair, definitely inspect and make sure the build quality is on point, as I'm assuming this is a more or less mass-produced shoe, so you might run into some build quality issues there. As far as the fit and finish with everything else about the shoe, I'm not complaining. The only thing I will say is I am usually a 12 in most Nike sneakers. This one, my toes are right up on the box here, and it's a little tight around the center of my foot. It's narrow, it's kind of pinching in, so I think I'm going to go a half size up, maybe even to a 13. I'm going to try the 12.5, 13 and see if that makes a difference, because this is a casual shoe. I'm not concerned with the stability of me, running around and doing anything crazy in this shoe. It's going to be for walking around and things like that. So a little bit of a wider sole, a little bit longer in the toe box is going to go a long way in comfort for me. So if you're going to go for this shoe, I would consider maybe sizing up a half size at least. Definitely try it out in your size first if you can, but for me it's definitely going to be a half size to maybe even a full size up. So as it pertains to summer sneakers, this is the type of look that I go for personally. Low cut, easy to wear, easy to slip on and off, and comfortable throughout the day. I believe that the React sole provides that for you, and this is just a great looking silhouette, a shoe that's a little different but not too crazy, something that's easy to pull off with a lot of different fits, and it's going to be one of my summer rotation shoes. But that does it for me, guys, on this video of the React Vision Desert Oasis. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider giving a like and subscribe and joining the family. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and I hope to grow this channel past 1,000 subscribers before we're allowed to go outside and, do things again. So I'm going to keep making videos here in my basement while I've got some time to kill. I hope you will join me. Let me know what you think about these sneakers down below, and I hope you have a good day, good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.